Hey guys, super excited for today's video. We're in the Hollywood Hills at 7007 Los Tilos. This is my colleague Joe Cilic's view property, which may have the best city view in all of LA. He's invited us in for a tour, and then afterwards we're gonna get to sit down and have a chat with Joe, who's one of Sotheby's top producers. So come on in, let's check it out.
Come on in.
Thanks for having us.
Great to see you, Ari.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this house.
Yeah. Come on.
All right, Joe, really awesome to sit down and chat. You, as some people might not know, were the guy that brought me into the business. You were the first manager that hired me, and you were an early mentor and have so much to do with the type of agent and the type of business I have. So it's amazing to be a little bit like full circle 8 years on in my career and get to sit down and check in and see what you're doing these days.
Well, Ari, it's my pleasure, and you're such a success story that it's great to see how your career's taken off. Really impressed.
Awesome, man. So one of the questions I wanted to ask, and it's a unique, background that you have. You're someone that transitioned not just once, but twice out of a stable, secure job from being a lawyer, and then the second time after being a broker manager, into a sales associate commission-based job as an agent. What was that like, and what triggered you to do that?
Yeah. So basically what you're saying, Ari, is why am I insane?
Yeah, exactly.
To do it twice. But truly it's following a passion and really trying to be fulfilled in a job. And so when I practiced law, I realized I put everything into it, but I didn't feel like I was being fulfilled. And so I went into sales, and I did that. And then I was asked to go into management. And when I went into management, I really was feeling fulfilled. And I loved bringing up, newer agents like you and assisting all the agents. But I started to feel like I had done it, been there, done that. And after 12 years of doing that, I decided I want to go back into the field, and I wanted to be an agent again on the front lines. And it's been great. It's been a challenge, certainly, at this point in my career, to really roll up my sleeves and work incredibly hard to try to build a successful team.
Yeah, it's interesting because in today's era, COVID, a lot of people have been forced or had the opportunity to calibrate and look at what they do. So what advice might you have for someone that is in that mindset, having gone through it yourself?
Right. I think it's almost like with a tech startup and a founder, and you really have to pour yourself completely into it. And so you have to find something that you're passionate about and that you're willing to work that hard to be successful at. So I think that that's the key. So subject matter that you care about, and then just pouring yourself into it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Having been a broker manager and coached and managed so many agents, and then now running your own team, what are the attributes that you would say an agent should have in order to succeed?
Right. It's interesting because it's simple in the sense that the agents who succeed tend to be those that work the hardest. And even the very successful agents that you see in town, the moment that they stop working as hard, all of a sudden they become less successful and then they're not top agents anymore. So it's putting in the time and being obsessed with being successful in this business is that, what really separates you. The other thing is really needing it and wanting it as a newer agent. And so I find that agents who are really looking to make this their career succeed, whereas others that want to moonlight in this business don't really find much success.
So for a newer agent that might not have their phone blowing up with past clients and people seeking them, what would you say a newer agent could do coming into the business to get started?
Right. I think it would be really important to try to find somebody who is active, who is experienced, who is successful, and learn as much from them as possible, and learn by offering to help them with things.
Right. Agents always struggle from having too much on their plate that have been around. And so there's enough opportunity that if you can pitch in and take over some of that overflow and get experience and handle some transactions, that's great advice. What makes Joe Cilic a great agent? What is your secret sauce to success?
Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I think that I have a unique background. I practice law, certainly in the real estate space, representing residential real estate brokerage companies. And then I became a branch manager, and I was able to see thousands of transactions and get involved with solving problems on a day in, day out basis. And so I was just able to get so much experience that when I work with a client, they actually can listen to advice based on actual transactions and actual outcomes that I can tell them about. And I think that that's a little bit, unique. I think also that, I've been able to really customize the things that I think are important in selling homes. And, having been a part of so many transactions, I was able to see what works in selling a home and what doesn't work. And so when we market a home, we're really focused on what actually works to sell that home.
What does work selling a home?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think it depends on the home, but certainly the presentation, the preparation before the presentation, those are really big, important things. And I think oftentimes agents are afraid to tell the client what they need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that an agent doesn't know. Now, some agents might not know, but many agents are just afraid to tell the client what they need to hear.
Right.
And so telling them the truth is important. Having the home prepared, having it staged if it needs staging, having top-notch photography, videography, and really attention to detail in that process is hugely important. And then it's what type of audience can you put it in front of? And so with Sotheby's, we have a unique value proposition in terms of where we can expose a property. But within my team, I've created one that goes beyond what Sotheby's does. And it's what can the Cilic Group do for you? And we've created relationships where we're able to market properties in a way that other brokers don't.
Impressive. It's really impressive. It's great to sit down, like I said, and be able to do this. Fortunately, none of those bad transactions that you had to manage and learn from were on my account when you were my manager. I'm proud to say that. This is great. It's an incredible home. Thanks for having us in and for sharing, your wealth of knowledge and for being a friend and a mentor and a colleague.
Thanks for coming today, Ari. It's always a pleasure, and you're such a great success.
Awesome, man. Thank you.